Kepler, pretty easy victory in the end there for South Africa. They looked impressive throughout, didn't they?
Much better today. They were comprehensive. It was a good toss to win. It was always going to be that, but South Africa batted pretty well. They effectively batted Australia out of the game. And Australia, after that injury to Watson, they were never really looked like winning it, and it disrupted their batting order. So in the chase, they were ordinary, but credit to South Africa, played well.
Graham Smith came into this match a little bit under pressure. He responded to some of those critics today, didn't he?
He did. He was fortunate in the way that Jacques Kallis batted at the other end, because it took a lot of pressure off him. It allowed him some time to find his feet, and at least he got some time in the middle. So towards the end of his innings, he started to look a lot better. So he'll feel a lot more confident.
What did you make of the Aussie bowling, though, as a whole?
Wasn't good today. I thought they bowled both sides of the wicket. They weren't as effective as they were. They didn't read conditions as well as they did in the past, and their fielding as well, I thought, was pretty ordinary for an Australian side.
And at the end there's some fireworks, wasn't there, in the South African innings? What did you make of that?
Yeah, there was. David Miller played really well. He was involved in a good partnership with JP Durban. He just looked for a bit as if Australia would get back into it, but they took the game away from Australia again, so they played superbly.
In reply, Australia made a pretty decent start, didn't they? But the Ponting wicket changed all that.
Well, it did, and their batting order was disrupted because Shane Watson was supposed to open, and they were a formidable opening pair, so that upset their batting order. And once Ponting got out, and particularly once Clark got out, they were always going to be on the back foot, and it was going to be tough to chase down over 300.
What do you make of South Africa's bowling? Because they looked to apply the pressure very nicely today, didn't they?
They're much better today. I thought Morné Morkel bowled superbly. I thought Johan Botha bowled really well. And as a bowling unit, I thought they did the job. So they read conditions well, they varied their pace well, and they were just a better side on the night.
If there's one question mark, I guess, against the South African bowling attack, what do you make of Dale Steyn at the moment in his form?
Well, Dale Steyn is a typical guy. The more he bowls, the better he gets. So he's just a little bit underdone at the moment. I think by the time the Test series comes along, I think he'll be ready and he'll be bowling really well.
So here we are, we're 1-1 in this series, Durban to go. Shane Watson, how much of a concern will that be now for the Australians?
I think it's a big concern for them because it disrupts their pattern, because he's such an important member of the side, both with the bat and also with the ball. So if he's not going to be fit, it'll definitely weaken that Australian side.
With Durban, what are your expectations of that one?
Well, it's all well set up now for a really good game to decide the series. South Africa quite tough to beat in Durban. Also, the toss there plays an important role. Always good to bat first in Durban as well. So that'll be a telling factor. But we've had contrasting results. Australia won the first one very easily. South Africa won very easily tonight. So who knows what'll happen in Durban?